Good morning, friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today we've got some fun news, some fun specials headed your way. Before I tell you this, y'all, if you are an online customer, if you're a local customer and you are not signed up for our emails, you need to do that because we have fantastic deals that are only announced through emails. So I'm going to have a link for you. We're not going to spam you. You're going to get great information, great heads up to deals that are coming your way. And the only way you're going to know about that is if you sign up for the emails. So if you have not signed up, make sure you do that. I think when you sign up for emails and maybe the text messages, you on your first order of $100 or more, you get free shipping. Of course, all orders ship for free at $175 and higher. But just as a little thank you, you get that first order of $100 for free shipping. So, fun news, we are going to have a hydrangea sale. So, both online and here at the garden center, online and here, all hydrangeas are 20% off. If you are online, you're going to use the code that I have on the screen. If you are here at the garden center, no code needed. We will go ahead and take that discount off for you. This runs, I'll have all the dates for you because if you know me, all those numbers get jumbled up in my brain, so I don't want to mess it up. So all the information is on the screen, both your code and those dates that the sale runs. All hydrangeas 20% off. Online, folks, there are new hydrangeas on the website, new introductions. Check them out. If you want them, go ahead and grab them. Of course, online, our shrubs are quart size containers. Y'all, you may look at a quart size and go, oh my gosh, it's so little. But there are certain shrubs that grow super fast that I cannot get as a 3-gallon like we have here at the garden center. So I get them from online, put them in a bigger pot and grow them out. So the new buddleia, I just got that mop top. I'm going to grow it out and then I will plant it later. And some new fantastic hydrangeas that are available. Powerball is one, a new panicle that'll get 3 to 6 feet tall and wide. It is available, so I have grabbed some of those as quarts, going to grow them out, and then this fall I will add them to the garden. So don't be scared about a quart-sized container. I have gotten massive plant growth out of a quart. So 20% off all hydrangeas here and online, so take advantage of that. Before we move on, I do want to show you, speaking of hydrangeas, we're going to talk more about it, but before we move away from here, I want to show you the water trough here at the barn. Cece and Brittany and Leela were part of this, and they completely constructed this. So they did a phenomenal job. They probably planted it a month, 6 weeks at the absolute most. They shopped at the nursery and they put this together. Y'all, this is one of the upside, the black coffee sweet potato vines. Of course, I do have an obelisk in here that it is climbing. This is one plant. You've got salvias on the side, the blue suede shoes, the pink, Wedgwood pink angelonia in the back with the sun patience, pina colada lantana. There is, on the edge back here, there is that Supertunia mini vista indigo. So it's on the sides and it's in the front. We've got the accent plants like the variegated ivy, and I think maybe this is Wujo's gem. I'm not sure, but they planted it, of course, very symmetrical. But this is gorgeous. So don't think it's ever too late in the season to be planting annuals. Yes, they may be looking a little tired in their little grande containers, but put them in some fresh soil. Okay, plum dandy, I forgot about that. Plum dandy is there too. They will explode. So if you've gone on vacation and you come back and the neighborhood kid forgot to water a pot and it all died, come back, replant it, we'll be doing good. Okay, so let's talk about hydrangeas right quick. If you've been around me for a length of time, you may know that one of my absolute all-time favorite hydrangeas is Little Lime Punch. And y'all, they are looking spectacular right now. July 4th is kind of my, I can always know that the Little Lime Punches will be looking great at July 4th. And they certainly are living up to it. Jerry, I don't know if you can, we have a knoll that is hanging out on one of the flower blooms right there. So these things are amazing. We have little lime punches available for sale, and so all creatures, great and small, love this plant. Remember, these have been in the ground. This is their second summer. These will be 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. They have extremely stocky stems. Nice, big, tight flower heads on them. They're still opening up, like they're still have not fully even developed their blooms yet, but nice and big. I'm going to tiptoe in here so you can kind of see. This is one plant. Isn't it beautiful? And like really strong stems. I have never had my little lime punches be floppy at all. Now, if you are in a cooler zone, let's say because we're a zone 8A with the heat and the humidity, let's say you're a zone 5, 6, whatever, or you're a higher elevation and you have cooler nights, little lime punch is going to be very punchy in the fall. Really vibrant, rich pinks. Here in the south, because of our heat and humidity, especially at night, they don't tend to get as punchy as they can, but you will get little hues of pink on them. This one is already starting to show some of those pink hues. And so you're going to get kind of that color variation on them, but nice, massive, huge heads. And like I said, very, very strong stems. They do not flop. I mean, look at that. Is that not just gorgeous? I have to give a huge shout out to Megan Matai at Spring Meadow Nursery. She was the breeder of little lime punch, and she just absolutely has knocked it out of the ballpark, as she always does with her plants. So little lime punch, gorgeous. Love this so much. So we have that. We're gonna let Jerry come through here. Come along, my darling. So when you come to the nursery, we have closed this center section because we're starting to get a little wear and tear on here.
I think that might be heat from the wall.
Anyway, we're letting the grass have a little bit of a respite. So it's not that the garden is closed, it's just that we ask you to go to the different sides of the garden. So here at the garden center, we've got the punches, we've got traditional little lime, we have got pufferfish over here, and of course these are all going to be full sun hydrangeas. So full sun means I think they're considered part of full sun. So a minimum of 4 hours all the way up to full sun all day. We got little lime, Limelight Prime, Quick Fire Fab. Y'all, our Quick Fire Fabs are unbelievably gorgeous. Now, if you are, if you're like me, and you've kind of listened to what I've been saying as far as like, you know, July may not be the most optimal time to plant a 3-gallon hydrangea here in the south because of our heat and humidity. Do what I do. Take advantage of this sale, take it home, put it in your nook, put it in your stash, keep it watered. That's all you have to do. Water it once a day, put a little saucer under it. Maybe you only have to water it every 2 days. And then come the fall, go ahead and plant it. So I have got in my stash a couple of hydrangeas, and I'm just going to wait until the temperatures cool down, and then I'm going to add them. So take advantage of the sale. If you want to plant it, you can. You're just going to have to kind of baby them just a little bit. All right, we have revamped the garden center some because we are moving more away from the annuals into thinking about the perennials, and especially the heat-loving perennials. So if you want to add perennial grasses to your garden, now is a perfect time to do it. This is Niagara Falls, and Niagara Falls is one of my absolute favorite perennial grasses. We have it in the berm. It is a bluegrass. You can see that it has that blue-green hue to it. It'll do a very upright habit, like 4 feet tall, roughly 3 to 4 feet wide. It has these nice plumes on it. It does not flop. It is gorgeous. Great time to add the grasses, the echinacea, the rudbeckias, because these do most of their growing in the heat of the summer. Somebody asked last week, well, why do I plant echinaceas now? Because they're hot weather loving plants, right? Hostas do great adding them in the fall and the winter because they're cool weather plants. They like the shade. These are love the heat. They do their most active growing in the heat. So let's put them in the ground, get those roots really well established before we go into our cold, wet winters. So that's why we say that. So you've got that. And then we've got a great selection, like this is Desert Plains. For me, no garden is complete without a grass. Whether you're shade or your sun, there is a grass for you. So we've got the Desert Plains. This is more of the Niagara Falls. Desert Plains, of course, as well here. And then speaking of heat-loving, sun-loving perennials, sedums. Perennial sedums are a great way to add different structure, different texture, and yes, fall color to your garden. They love it hot and dry. It is great to add to those trouble areas where it is very dry and it's hot, you don't get to it. Sedums are perfect. So here in this first section of like the white proven winners, this is Rock and Grow Coral Jade. And Coral Jade is gonna have a lighter green foliage to it, but it's gonna have those white, kind of creamy white, pink flowers. And this is going to be hardy in zones 3 to 9. And it's going to be about 16 to 18 inches tall with the blooms. So some of these are starting to put out their little height for the blooms. So there you go. Then we're coming down here. This is one of the non-branded ones. This is so cool. This is called Nightlight. And Nightlight, you can see, has a lot of kind of like black, deep purple foliage, also with that green. This is going to do light yellow flowers. How fun is that? And it's going to be about 22 to 26 inches tall. So you want to put these in those hot, dry areas, lots of good sun. And then we have this one. This is the Rock and Grow Back in Black. It's going to be about 2 feet tall with the flowers on it. And it's going to do more of kind of those, let me see, near black leaves, red centers, and cream petals. So you could have a group of, like a little collection of all of these in the garden, and you're gonna get great fall interest with beautiful, as far as the flowers go, but lots of cool interest here. So definitely don't put it in a wet area. Don't put it in an area where it drains and it stays moist. They're not gonna like that. Put them in really sun, I would say a minimum of 6 hours on the drier side. Look at the Heliopsis. This is Tuscan Gold. Y'all, Tuscan Gold is such a beautiful, beautiful perennial. These are one of those few perennials that once it starts blooming, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Typically your perennials will bloom for about 4 to 6 weeks. Tuscan Gold Heliopsis just keeps on going. It's gonna be about 24 to 32 inches tall. Does those beautiful, pure, bright yellow, daisy-like flowers on it. That 24 to 32 inches tall does include, obviously, the blooms. It's gonna be kind of very upright columnar. It is hardy in zones 4 to 9. So love the Tuscan Gold. It is gorgeous, takes you into fall perfectly. Oregano. So you're like, what in the world? I think most of you probably are familiar with the Drops of Jupiter oregano. This is like when you rub it, it smells like oregano that we know, right? That very herby smell, because it is oregano. You can't eat it. It's not meant to be eaten. It is meant for this beautiful show of flowers. So it'll get, it says 24 inches tall, which is about right because that includes these flowers. Massive pollinator attractor. The sun is just kind of getting up, but give them an hour and these plants will be covered in little bees. So Drops of Jupiter is hardy in zones 4 to 9 as well. And I know for us, even in the winter time, I still have my mat of green. Obviously, once it finishes flowering, you can go ahead and just kind of cut it off to the ground, but you will have a lovely mat of green in your yard throughout the entire winter. Now, I don't know about zones 4, 5, and 6 because I'm not in there, but I know zones 7, 8, you're gonna have that nice structure. It will spread, but it's not invasive. Like your clump just gets bigger every year. So this is a really fun chartreuse color, those nice kind of very light pink flowers that attract your pollinators big time. Another grass, one of my favorites, is Cheyenne Sky. And Cheyenne Sky is already starting to show you those reds. This is going to be that panicum grass. It is going to be a little bit smaller. So if Niagara Falls is too big for you, then try Cheyenne Sky. Even we have Apache Rose as well, but that can get really big. Cheyenne Sky is like that 3 foot, 3 foot tall, more upright, has a little bit of a flow to it. Beautiful grass, and these are nice 1 gallon size containers. You've got beautiful roots coming out the bottom. It's not going to be root bound, but there you go, you've got gorgeous roots coming out. And so again, if you're adding perennials, now's the time to do it. They were putting out, oh yeah, come over here. So perennials with the yarrow, the achillea. So we're talking about if you have areas that are dry, go for the sedums. I personally have found that my achilleas need a little bit more water. So if you have an area that is not soaking wet, but on the damp side, it tends to get a little bit more water, then your achilleas, your yarrows are going to be great. So this is the Firefly series. So you've got like the red pop, and these are kind of getting at the end of their bloom, but they're very upright. They're not floppy. Yarrow typically will be a very floppy crop plant. So you've got the red pop, which is red. You've got the peach sky, which has some that peachy orange colors. And then you've got the sunshine, which is a bright yellow. And we've got fuchsia, which is obviously going to be a pink. So yarrows, great time to add them as well. Now, if you do have an area that stays wet, these irises are going to be great for you. These come from our friends at Walter's Gardens. Look at this. This is eyeliner. So behind the garden shed, I have eyeliner. Now, we just planted this, this year as a bare root. And look at this. It is gorgeous. Even in my garden that is highly neglected, it is on irrigation, but it's highly neglected. They are tall and they are huge. They do these beautiful creamy white flowers with that purple and yellow on it. They're going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9. They bloom in the early summer, so mine have already bloomed for this season, but then you get this gorgeous foliage throughout the rest of the year. So this is where you have, even though you don't have flowers, you have beautiful structure in your garden. So very cool, it gives you lots of interest even after it's finished blooming. And then I do not have this planted yet. Oh look, we got a bloom, got a bud. This is the Pinkerton. And Pinkerton is a Japanese iris. It is a beautiful, soft pink, a double flower. Look at this, if Jerry can zoom in on that for you. This is gonna be a little bit shorter, about that 2 foot tall. Of course, loves those wet areas. So with your summerific hibiscus, your astilbes, those kinds of things, this would be perfect around the pond. I do not have Pinkerton yet. It's just one of those things I need to get in the ground because I love this gorgeous flower. And then of course the phloxes, whether you want to do these are panicle phloxes. So we've got the luminary opalescence, which is a very nice, soft, pale pink. Smells amazing. Kind of reminds you of a gardenia, has that fragrance to it. And then we've got, with a newer color, this is the Pink Lightning. And so Pink Lightning is going to be a solid, really nice, deep, rich pink to it. Lovely. Excuse me. Now, I know we're talking about a lot about perennials. We still have tons of annuals if you're interested. You can see those as we're going through. And Cece and Brittany are restocking gorgeous hanging baskets. So these are hanging baskets that we have gone through pruning and they have flushed back out unbelievably gorgeous. So come get them. Y'all, this is the perfect thing to, if you had that container that died when you went on vacation, come buy a hanging basket, take it out of the hanging basket, put it in your container. Gorgeous. So they've got the Mini Vista Hot Pink. Cece's got like Mini Vista Indigo. We've got the, Misty Seas, I think was that color. We've got Mini Vista White. There's a gorgeous dreamsicle. I saw it in the greenhouse, and I was like, oh, I think dreamsicle needs to come home with me. I'd have no idea where I'm going to put it, but it's gorgeous. So the hanging baskets have flushed back out and are doing great. So grasses, this is a new one. Oh, golly, look at this. Man, it's the first time I've seen this one. Okay, this is brush strokes. Y'all, look at this plant. It is unbelievably gorgeous. This is a Schizachyrium, which I love Schizachyriums. They're great. Hardy in zones 3 to 9. So it says, like bristles on a paintbrush, the stems of brush strokes stand vertical, bend gracefully with the wind, then return to their upright position. Powder blue stems take after their namesake before turning wine red in early fall. Dear heavens to Betsy, yes, Schizachyriums are great. The first time I ever saw a Schizachyrium was when Mom and I were at Biltmore, and we were walking through the gardens, and we were like, what is that grass? Turns out it was a Schizachyrium. Gorgeous. We've got the lemon squeeze. Look at that, fun chartreuse color on that. It does a cute little plumes. Really a sweet little grass. This is going to be about 3.5 feet tall. Coreopsis. Coreopsis is another great crop perennial that will continue to bloom and bloom and bloom throughout the season. And then Agastaches. So we've got this whole end down here are Agastaches. You've got the proven winners. This is the meant to be royal raspberry. Beautiful dark foliage, pink flowers on it. Agastaches love the sun. They love it hot. They tend to love it a little on the drier side. Then the pollinators go nuts, so you've got that. Then you've got the queen nectarine that has like peachy nectarine flowers on it. And then the ever classic popular blue fortune. So lots of different ideas for you for your garden. The bees are starting to come out because this whole area will literally be buzzing with activity here once the sun comes up and the plants kind of dry off from being wet with the irrigation. So lots and lots, like I could just keep going on and on and on and on. So if you are looking to add interest to your garden, think about that because we plant for 4 seasons, right? I know it is hot, y'all. Trust me. I am out there sweating with you and it is hot, but some of these plants love to be added this time of the year, right? We all have, like people have different personalities. Plants have different personalities. They have different needs. Yes, we like those plants that like the early spring and the fall because it's nice and comfortable to be out in the garden. But some of these like to be added in the heat of the summer and they're going to give you gorgeous, gorgeous structure. There's a couple that I've come through here and I'm like, I need to go make sure that those get added to my garden next week because they're going to be fabulous. So don't forget that the hydrangea sale 20% off both here at the garden center and online. Here at the garden center, that will run Wednesday through Saturday. Okay, it's not like for the rest of the season. It is just this week, Wednesday through Saturday. Not to mention that we have got beautiful shade-loving hydrangeas as well. So I know we talked about the sun. Trust me, there are plenty over there for the shade or the part sun. So don't think that I don't have any for you. I absolutely do. So if you found this fun, informative, inspirational, we would love it if you would like and subscribe to Gardening with Creekside. That way you don't miss those 5 videos that we do each and every week. Y'all have an amazing day out there. Stay cool, stay hydrated, wear your sunscreen, wear your shirts. Guys, keep your skin protected, my friends. But we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.